Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AeU Webinar Forum on New Learning in New Normal. The future is not what it used to be. The COVID-19 crisis is a world-changing event. At the height of COVID-19 crisis, the Commonwealth of Learning in April 2020 issued their research findings that over 90% of the world's student population is out of school due to COVID-19 pandemic. No one was prepared for the unprecedented learning crisis that needs to be addressed immediately. Online and distant learning, ODL, has become the only means for educational institutions to keep the doors open. For some of them, this is an entirely new experience and uncharted territory. In short, we are in the same storm but in different boats. As multinational university established under Asian Cooperative Dialogue, ACD, AeU is mandated to promote the use of ODL to improve access to quality education and training by removing barriers that can limit access to higher education and make it more accessible, affordable, and beneficial to our learners. Towards this aim, AeU has planned a series of several webinar forums to share and help each other to effectively weather the COVID-19 crisis in the new normal. In this webinar forum, we are fortunate to have the experts and participants on e-learning to share the first-hand experience with us. Please welcome Prof. Dr. Titi Tawa binti Abdul Rahman, Deputy Vice Chancellor of AeU. She will share her experience on how to mitigate and resolve the new learning via virtual learning. Mr. Ho Ken Fat, an MBA alumni and had won the Chairman's Award as the best MBA scholars in the class of 2017. He would like to share his experience in following AeU's program through e-learning. And lastly, Ms. Janiza Jamaluddin, a senior lecturer at the School of Management. It is not as simple as using Zoom, Skype, or Webex or FaceTime as new ways on learning. She will demonstrate the self-instructional module, SIM, or OSIM. Let me welcome them to the forum. And let me just issue some of the procedures that speakers will present their talk first, then followed by Q&A. The participant can post their questions online and they will be answered during the Q&A sessions. After all the speakers have given their talks, there should be about 10 minutes Q&A to summarize the topic for today. Please address the questions to the speaker whom you would like to respond. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Prof. Tite, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, to begin the first webinar sessions. And for a start, Prof. Tite, it is besides the articulation of innovative pedagogical skills, how do we sustain and propagate deeper understanding of the learners who are more digital savvy than the instructors? And how can AeU share her expertise with other institutions to mitigate the new learning for the new normal? Thank you. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Xiao. Ladies and gentlemen, first thing, let us recall back when the pandemic started. So the movement control order has caught every one of us in a shock, and then everybody has to change, in a very short time. So eventually, after we have gone through the MCO, the movement control order, then let's come to the new normal. So what is the new normal? Okay, so when we come into the new normal, we see that after we are quite free to move about, but however, life has changed. Okay, so we can see that people are starting to be more cautious about the health precautions, and we are always in the fear of the new wave of infection. And of course, in terms of learning, digital technology plays a lot more important role. Okay, so in the new normal, we notice that the higher education institution were caught unprepared. Okay, and the enabling and the technological infrastructure has to be ready, in a short time. Okay, whereby everybody has to learn how to use the technology, how to use the learning platform, the lecturers and also the student. And what happened? It just becoming, instead of embracing the virtual learning, there we see that higher education institution just migrating or shifting the physical face-to-face into synchronous online face-to-face. Is it right? So are we doing the right thing? Is the migration to online learning successful, achieving the intended learning outcome, able to assess the learning outcome, able to make the students achieve the learning outcome, whether students can learn effectively, and also whether the lecturers can deliver effectively. So a lot of grievance, a lot of complaints, by the students and also the lecturers, whereby there's too much load, too much material given by the lecturers, the class not properly scheduled, there are too many assignments, and of course, we cannot deny technology can be a barrier as well, whereby the last mile connectivity may not be achieved. Okay, so, and also for the lecturers not familiar with delivering via the virtual mode, not familiar with alternative methods of assessment, and we can list down a few more a few more factors or difficulties faced by the lecturers. So what is the new norm? Are we going to say new norm in learning or learning in the new norm? So that's why today in our webinar we coin up with the team as new learning in the new norm. Okay, so just now I have mentioned in the new norm we are going to have higher level of health precautions, fear of the new wave of infection, and that's why the technology plays an important role. However, the pandemic also has highlighted the digital divide, and also have highlighted that the teachers or the lecturers or the educators were not trained properly and meaningfully to integrate technology tools in the 21st century pedagogy. So even with the use of the tools, sophisticated tools, but the delivery may not be effective. Student may not learn effectively. Student may not achieve the intended learning outcome. So what I see, based on my observations, based on our practice in AeU, what is the characteristic or attributes of new learning? So of course, to me, with the new learning now, it means remote learning. Student can study anywhere, anytime they are, which means that the student needs to embrace online learning. It is more personalized, meaning that students choose what they want to learn, where they want to learn, when they want to learn. It is also flexible, whereby we can see there are multiple pathways that learning can accommodate every student. So it is now we have to make the learning flexible to the student. Okay, and when we make the learning more personalized, more flexible, it means the lecturers or the educators is only facilitator. They only facilitate the learning process, and therefore students is responsible and accountable of their own learning. Okay, so we make them more matured. We make them to choose their own learning pathways. So that's where now the lecturers or the educators, they should be ready to prepare their role instead of the player on the stage in the class. Okay, now the lecturers or the instructors becomes the designer, the curator, the facilitator of the learning, so that the students will learn effectively. Okay, so to achieve or to ensure the attributes of the new learning is achieved, so of course the role of the instructor is very important, because they have to curate the best online learning material, online learning sources, to make sure that the learning process is a personal learning journey for each student. So therefore, when we say online learning, it doesn't mean that teachers can just dump their learning material. For example, just put all their PowerPoint slides into the learning platform. Okay, so a proper, a well-written, a well-planned learning material or content has to be developed. Okay, so the lecturers should design effective, synchronous and asynchronous learning activities to sustain engagement. So which means that engagement between the instructor and the students is very important. So the engagement doesn't mean it is in the class, whereby the class now is conducted virtually. But engagement can be done anytime. So therefore, teachers have to change their role, to change their hats, to be an effective learning designer, resource content designer. Yeah, so the instructors should be able to continuously encourage, support students, identify their strengths and weaknesses, and also to improve um, to improve the students' learning capability. So now the educators should focus on the mastery of learning instead of mastery of knowledge. Yeah, so we need to be able to make our student to be able to learn, learn by themselves. Okay, and therefore, of course, when the student learn, we need to assess. Yeah, and when we evaluate and when we do the assessment, we have to think it should assess the achievement of the learning outcomes. Yeah, and the student need to be assessed on their achievement of the learning outcomes and how to do that. As we know, when we do the assessment, there are two types: formative and summative. Yeah, and therefore the formative assessment is very important, whereby instructors regularly give feedback to the students. So of course we see there's a lot of things need to be judged, need to be understand in this new norm. Yes, so it is not like a 1 month thing of transforming from being an ordinary conventional instructor or lecturers to become an online or virtual instructors in the new learning. So of course um, the in terms of the instructor, they must have the motivation skill, they must have the facilitating skills, and also they must be expert, a subject matter expert in their area, so that they can develop a content which is self-motivated, self-instructed, and which can guide the student so that the student will be able, to learn effectively. Yeah. As for the student, what I see, the skills that they need to develop, to in this new learning environment, they need to have the skill of flexibility. They need to know the limits of flexibility. Whether they can't say that, oh, they just they manage their studies, but it does not balance between study and also relax or leisure. So the flexibility is important. The adaptability, so adaptability is very important, because now we have to adapt in the new norm. We have to adapt in the new learning in a short time. Empathy as well. Interdependent means how the students actually dependent on the instructor, and also the instructor dependent on the students, to help the student learns better. And of course, a very important skills, that the students need to have, or need to develop, is the sense of responsibility. So I can see that all these skills actually prepare the students, for their working life. So so therefore, going back, to what's Prof. Xiao asked, how AEU can or adapt and um, promote,
Share,
this
yeah.
share our experience. So of course, AEU, since our establishment, we are on ODL universities. We are ODL university, whereby we are prepared with our resources. So our resources is designed in such a way that it can help the student to manage their own learning. So that's why our learning resources, we call it self-instruction material. SIM. And now our SIM, we have converted into online SIM. So which means that with this online SIM, it is more effective, there's a learning analytics there, so interactive. So we hope that the student should be able to learn better. Yeah. Other than that, of course, in terms of learning, the learning resources, we have SIM and coming with online SIM. We are moving towards online SIM. And as for our instructor, we don't call our instructor as lecturers. We call our instructors as academic facilitators. So since beginning, we have academic facilitators, and they are reminded that they are not lecturers to lecture. They're supposed to facilitate students' learning. Because the students, they are independent learners. And whereby they need to collaborate with their members.
You have one question raised by Puan Rubia, I think. Yeah. Rabia, yes.
Yes.
Is it a rule regarding the time spent upon an electronic device 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off? Prof, how does professional teachers control and mediate full day learning? Good question.
Yes. Actually, if you do online learning, it should not be more than 1 hour. Okay, it's too exhaustive. So we need to be able to break up the learning materials into shorter segments. So and of course, by breaking it up, so there should be a reflection. Reflection back. There's interactive with the students. Rather than, because we are not supposed to lecture. Like we give lecture in class, or we need to make. That's why the new pedagogy, the 21st century pedagogy. We need to make the student to become an independent learners. So they need to be able to know and to learn by themselves.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prof. Titi. I also like to add that looking at the screen for too long also will not be good for the eyesight. So we cannot have the full day sessions looking at the screen. And the words are very small compared to some of us. So let us move. Thank you, Prof. Titi. Let's move on to the next speaker, Mr. Ho Ken Fa. Mr. Ho, welcome to the webinar sessions, and you have graduated with MBA with distinction from AeU University and was conferred the Presidential Scholar. But then you were managing your own business, and therefore the participants would like to know how you manage your time and effort to garner such an accolade. And second question is, perhaps before coming to AeU, you have been scouting around for other ODL universities, and we would like to know why you have chosen AeU University as your to do your MBA. The third question, you have completed not only with Precision Scholar, and we would like to know, and the audience would like to know your secrets. What have you done to get to manage or to juggle your time to finish your degree with distinction and also your business? And lastly, can you advise the present MBA student how to achieve such outcome that you have gone through, and despite your constraint and limitation? So take us through, Mr. Ken.
Thank you, Professor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, brother and sister, good morning, everybody. So first of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to AeU for inviting me to share my experience in this webinar. Okay, and also thank you to Professor Dr. Sel, okay, Professor Dr. Titikawa, okay, Associate Professor Dr. Sheila, Janissa, and all the team members who organize and make this webinar possible. Okay, now I am Ken Ho, okay, MBA alumni AeU. Okay, currently I'm running my own business, my online business, and I'm also a HDRF TTT certified trainer as well. Okay, it's my pleasure to share with you all about my experience during my MBA study. Okay, so well, how I managed to get distinction and confer as a presidential scholar in my MA study while I'm doing my own business. Okay, and here I need to explain in two parts. One is because of myself, because I have strong desire to pursue my study. I have strong willingness to study, and I want and not need. Okay, want, that means what? That means I'm willing to do. If need, that means I'm forced to do it. So I want to upgrade myself. Okay, I want a better future, and I want more power. Okay, because knowledge is power. That's why gain more knowledge. Okay, so I decided to pursue my MBA study. All right. So when you have this strong desire and willingness, okay, to study, okay, then every challenge is not become a challenge. That's why I encounter the challenge is what? Is my time, because I'm doing business at time. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, that time when I study MBA actually is my business downtime. And I face a lot of stress also, face a lot of cash flow also. But willingness, because strong desire to study. That's why I have to encounter all these challenges, and especially the time. I know everybody is uh, is uh, is busy. Okay, so I'm also busy, but because I use my free time. Okay, that means before sleep 2 hours, or if let's say night time I'm feel tired, then morning wake up, then I use about 1 to 2 hours to study. All right, this is actually how I allocate my time. And this is the beauty of what? Of online learning, because you are flexible, you are convenient, okay, to study, okay, to study anytime, anywhere. This is what I actually liked. Okay, and Professor also asked me regarding this, why I chosen AeU as my preferred institution, since there were actually a lot of ODL institution also. So I think the first criteria I consider is because of recognition. And AU officially recognized by Ministry of Higher Education, Malaysia. And the program are MQA, okay, accredited. Okay, this is one of the criteria actually I chose. Okay, and not only that, okay, the second criteria I prefer AU because what? Because of the flexibility, flexible entry. That means AU offer accreditation of prior experiential learning. That is called APEL. Okay, entry requirement. In other words, AU actually what? Consider my relevant working experience as accreditation. Okay, that's why it's not only depends on academic degree only. All right, so this is what I prefer lah. Of course, the cost of study is affordable. All right, so I like it. Okay, and not only that, okay, not only that, I think one of the things, okay, is my secret. I think a lot of people want to know why I can become the best scholar. Okay, here I can share you a secret, and this secret actually is called what? It's called secret. Hey, secret. Okay, what is called secret? Okay, SECRET. Okay, SECRET is secret. That means the first S is what? Is self-discipline. Okay, do what you should do. Do what you need to do. This is called self-discipline. The E is enthusiasm. That means you have to love what you are doing. Love to study, right? So I love to study. That's why I have the passion, okay, enthusiasm. And the C is called commitment, all right, commitment. That's why a promise and a firm decision to make something, okay. So I commit myself to pursue my study. I pursue myself to complete my MBA study. And one more is called what? R. Okay, R is responsible. Responsible to not only me, to also my family. That's why I want to show to my children, even daddy, even the father doing business, but still managed to do it, still managed to study. That's why I have a responsible, okay, become an example of them, okay. And E is called what? Emotion. Emotion is what? Is that means when you are facing challenge, okay, at that time, so are you actually calm down? Okay, it's very important, because when you are okay facing challenges, down mode that time, okay, low emotional, so are you stay calm or not? Okay, this is very important. That's why I think is we have to control our emotion when study. And the last one is what? time. Okay, T is called time management. That means allocate your time wisely. This is my my secret. That means it's called secret also, right? So this is one. And not only that, okay, so maybe a lot of people, maybe a lot of people skeptical about the quality of my MBA from AU compared to conventional university. A lot of people talks about that, the quality. But honestly, I tell you, I'm 100% confident with the quality of MBA from AU. Why? Because the program are MQA accredited. And not only that, actually, AU is also recognized by Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia. So, you know, what is the position of AU in Malaysia? Actually, the principal stakeholders of AU are Malaysian Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So that's why AU, okay, AU is a unique collaborative multinational university initiated by the Asia Cooperation Dialogue. That is called ACD. ACD is a body in 2002, okay, to promote Asian cooperation at continental level. That's why I tell you, AU actually is a leading and distance learning university in Malaysia. Okay, and it's also one of the premier ODL institution in Asia. As what actually before I joined AU, I actually studied the background also. Okay, that's why I'm proud to become AU MBA alumni. Okay, so and last, okay, I think I have to share to you. Okay, maybe a lot of people maybe study MBA, or maybe you want to study MBA, or maybe you want to pursue your degree study. So this is my advice. Okay, this is my advice. Okay, during your study or anything, if you have facing any challenge, okay, so one thing is the hard work. One thing is be persistent. One thing is be positive. Be positive. If you facing challenge, okay, so your mind must be positive. And the last one is very important. Don't give up. Okay. When I'm doing actually MBA at that time, as I told you, my business actually facing a lot of problems. That is my downtime that time. So that's why you just imagine challenge a lot. Okay, I have a lot of challenge. If I don't have the positive mind, I don't think I can
No question.
complete my MBA in 1.5 years. I think it's not more than 2 years. Okay, I complete. Of course, I am not expected. Actually, I can get a good distinction in AU. But thanks to all the professor, doctor, and also the lecturer actually guiding me in this MBA journey. Okay, so I'm very proud of it. Okay, and this is my sharing today, and so thank you to you all. Okay, even though it's short, but I try to give you all my best. Okay, all my secret for you. Okay, in order you have a bright future in during your study. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ken, and thank you very much. And please remain with us because perhaps there will be questions later. And we move on to the next speaker. Is Ms. Janiza Jamaluddin, Senior Lecturer at the School of Management. And we Prof. has mentioned that of SIM and OSIM. Okay, so we practice what we preach, and seeing is believing. So I'm passing it to Ms. Jeniza to demonstrate the SIM and OSIM. But before that, I would like to know from her what is so unique about AEU online classroom, and to demonstrate the OSIM and highlight the uniqueness of OSIM. And how do you ensure the progression and completion of student learning? With that, I pass on to Ms. Janiza to show us the SIM and OSIM. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Good morning, panels and everyone. Okay, I would like to introduce to our self-instructional module, or we call it as SIM. SIM is actually a learning material that we have already come up with this module, whereby inside the module we have all these introductions, learning outcome, core contents, and also we have self activities inside there. And actually, SIM is a very structured learning material whereby students can get all the informations inside there and also the assessments. Okay, and this SIM template is actually prescribed by our ACE department. We call it Asian Center of E-Learning. Okay, after we have come up with the SIMs and we have simplified it into OSIM or online self-instructional module, I would like to show you the how our OSIM works here. Okay, this is our OSIM. Okay, this is one example which I picked from one of our subject under topic 8.4, strategic management. Strategic management Asian business is one of our subject under MBA. From SIM, we have transferred all the notes into OSIM. Okay, we have already come up with every topics. We come up with these slides that we have already simplified everything into this template. Okay, I would like to show you here. This is we need to stick to click start first. And then this is the navigations whereby students need to make sure that they have completed and within the timelines that we have given. Click next here. Under this OSIM, we have come up with a voice over whereby we read every script or every sentence inside our SIMs. And students can also download the notes from this OSIM, whether they wanted it to email to them or they wanted it to printed this OSIM. I would like to show you another one. Can you see? No. Okay. Okay, this is our OSIM. Okay, and this is one of the topic inside strategic management also under topic 6.4. So when I click here start, okay, this it will go to the next slides where you can find here the navigations. Student needs to complete with the timelines that we have already given. Then you click next. Okay, if you can see here, there is my notes over here, whereby student can click and they can download the slides, whether they want to email or they want to print it. Okay, this is part of our learning material that we have in Asia University. We also use our MyPLS platform for the students to study, where we have many features inside our MyPLS, where they can find the notes, materials, aside from this OSIM just now. And we have also many interactive learning inside our MyPLS, and students can make use of the features inside MyPLS. And they have forums and discussion rooms for the students and the lecturers to interact. And during this COVID-19, we have conduct our examinations using our synchronous online final examinations, or we call it SOFI. So where the students need to sit for their examinations at their home, they can sit at home or anywhere they are, and they are given 2 hours or 3 hours to answer their questions. Okay, this all done by online. So they don't need to come to the campus to sit for the examinations. And I think that's all that I can share with you all on our MyPLS, on our self-instructional module and OSIMs. I think I would like to pass back to Prosiao for further discussions.
Okay, thank you very much, and Ms. Jeniza. It has been known that students usually read the first page and then move to the last page. So how do you prevent that? And using OSIM and SIM, first we would like to detect their progression and so on.
No, they are forced to finish all the slides. They cannot skip the slides. That means after next, they have to click next. They cannot jump from the second slides or third slides. So they have to make sure that they have finished the learnings that we have already set inside there.
Okay, thank you very much. And any further questions on the floor or Desmond? PhD fully online, also go face-to-face class, right? Okay, yes, we do have a blended mode for PhD. Either it's fully online or even face-to-face. We have workshops, but during COVID-19, I mean, during the pandemic, we have to go by online. But we do have face-to-face. In fact, just before this webinar, we have face-to-face a workshop with my student for supervision. Any further questions or any speakers do you need to add
Yeah.
any information to be added?
Yeah. Another when we talk about flexibility, yeah, flexibility of learning, the new learning in the new norm, yeah, whereby flexibility is one of the main attributes, yeah, of the new learning. So whereby there we can see when we make it learning is flexible, okay, and students manage their own learning. So which means that the regimented environment is no more there. Okay, which like in the conventional universities, yeah, whereby the learning process is very structured and regimental, that the student has to follow. Yeah, but now students are free to choose whatever that they want to learn, yeah, of course within the prescribed curriculum for that programs, yeah, and anywhere and anytime. So even since we make the learning is very learning for all, yeah, because AEU we believe learning is actually for everyone, yeah. So that's when now we have introduced what we call the micro credential. Yeah, micro credential is the slicing, yeah, of the degree, whether it is bachelor or it is masters, yeah, into small pieces. So which means that now the student can even take one subject at a time, and they can keep the credentials, yeah, sort of like in their credit bank. So which means that if they do one subject, yeah, and they keep they have secured or they have earned 3 credits, and another subject they earn 3 credits, so which means that they don't need to register in the main program yet, yeah. They just take the micro credential and accumulate the credits, yeah, and until when they feel that, oh, I want to get a bachelor degree or I want to get a master's degree, then only they register into the program, to the proper program, and they can transfer credit, direct transfer credit, all the credits that they have earned, yeah, into the program. And so at the end, they just only a few more credits left, and they can finish their study in a short time, and they earn the degree, they get the certificate, masters or bachelors.
Prof. Titik, there's a question by Miss
Yeah.
Emma Saad. What type of questions do you have on your online exam?
Okay, right. For online exam, yeah, we can have all types, whether it is multiple choice, we can also have a structured question, we can also have essay questions. So we have all those, yeah, all those.
The next question is for me, Prof. Titik,
Okay.
by Mr. Alex, asking the minimum time for PhD. Mr. Alex, depending on what whether you are full-time or part-time, but mostly for working adults, we have part-time PhD, and the minimum time to finish or complete the PhD is within 4 years. And for full-time, it's about 3 years. Now, talking about flexibility, I would like to know from Mr. Ken, who has gone through our program MBA, how do you translate or flexibility that you have experienced while doing the MBA? Mr. Ken?
Yeah, thank you, Professor Sel. Okay, so this is my experience. Okay, when I intended to study MBA, that time in my mind actually I thought about 4 years, because MBA about 3 to 4 years time. But actually, I'm still doing part-time, okay, part-time. But even though you are in part-time, but your heart actually is studied full-time, you know. So it's not a part-time or full-time. It's actually how actually the commitment to study. That's why even though I'm using part-time to study, but I still can complete my MBA, okay, not more than 2 years, okay, is what I actually feel is good. It's a very good program, and the duration, okay, is short, okay. For me, actually, I think happy about it.
What about
Thank
the
you.
number of subjects that you are allowed to take for MBA? The number of subjects that you
Pardon, sorry, I can't hear.
to take in the MBA. The number of
Number of
subjects.
the
Yeah.
number of subject. Number of subject is 12.
No,
12
beginning
subject.
you are supposed to do 3 courses, right?
Oh,
Per semester.
yes, yes. So each semester I complete my subject. Okay, I complete 3 subjects each semester. Okay, I still remember it. Okay, so because I complete my MBA during 2017. So I think it's is that okay? Each semester is 3 subjects. Okay, I managed to do that. Right.
Yeah. Prof. Tite, there's one question from Mr. Lewa. How does AeU conduct online exam and how to prevent cheating in exam?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. For the online exam, which we call Synchronous Online Final Examination, SOFI, yeah, we take a few precautions, yeah, to avoid cheating. For example, uh, we have come up with a set of instructions, yeah, to the student before starting of the exam, yeah, well in advance, yeah, whereby the students have to install what we call the safe browser. So with the safe browser, the student will not be able to browse any folders in his or her laptop, and also browse the internet. Okay, so that's one. And of course, the other one, we also implement e-invigilation. Yeah, so which means that for a group of students, there's an online invigilators observing the students. Yeah, so of course there is an SOP as well. Yeah, before the students start, whereby they have to ensure that there's no one in the room. There's nowhere the students can copy, no sticky notes, whatever, no books around. So that's the normal SOP that needs to be carried out. Yeah, if you take any online exam from any online course provider. Yeah, so we do take into consideration all the steps, yeah, and procedures, yeah, to ensure student will not copy. And the other one, of course, for the take home exam, yeah, so we make compulsory for students to go through Turnitin, yeah, to ensure there's no plagiarism done.
The other question is for me, Prof. Tite, you're asking, I can't see it here. Can IT Masters in IT apply for PhD in Business Administration by Ms. Kelly Wong? Yes, of course. We believe in flexible learning. Flexible learning means flexible entry, but not flexible exit. No? the thesis must be of global standards. So it may be easy to come in, but not. We ensure that the exit is not flexible in terms of the teaching and so on. So, but at the same time, if Kelly is still not confident with business administration course, business administration PhD, we do allow students to audit our courses in business administration, and therefore you strengthen your knowledge in this area. So it is flexible in the sense that we allow you to, from IT to PhD.
Yeah.
Miss Jenisa, there's a question for you. Where's the question for Janisa? For hearing impact.
Oh, okay. For those who have problems in hearing and see, that means they cannot see and they cannot hear. Um, before this COVID, we have students with this kind of disabilities. We assist them, especially when they come to the campus or when they take the examinations. So at the moment, we have students who have these disabilities. They will come to the face-to-face campus or learning, and we will guide them. We have our staff who can guide them on the learning part. And um, we also allow, if, for example, if they come for the examinations, we also allow the students to, or we assist them, or we allow them to have one very close to her or him to assist the students in doing their examination. Okay, and for the learning material, we don't at the moment we don't have any type that we can help all these disabilities students. We have to go there, or they have to come here to our campus or to the nearest our learning centers.
The normal time, we are looking for a plan for you. The normal time for 4 years. We have divided the 4 years into four stages. Each year one stage, and at the end of first year, students are supposed to defend their proposal, and upon the successful defense of the proposal, you will be allowed to proceed to data collection and writing the thesis. Okay, so that will take about 4 years as a part-time candidate. And for each chapter, we don't have a time frame carved on stone, but we do take note of your your time factor, such as your working time and so on. But we would like you to, as much as possible, follow our time schedule. And for reporting to supervisors, that depends on the stage of your research. But at the beginning, maybe for three times per semester, and the you need to file a report of this progress report twice yearly. Yeah, one in January, the other in July, and changing research dimension, taking time. Yes, of course. Sometimes when we do our research proposal, we do change our research topic and so on. So that's quite normal. And full-time working too, yes, students are working adults, so they have to juggle your time between, as what Mr. Ken has mentioned just now, is to juggle work and your family and your studies. Definitely, if you were to embark onto the study here, like Ken has mentioned, you have to devote some time on your own to study our courses here. It doesn't come straight into your from thin air. You should have some effort to study with us. Thank you. Online extra mode. However, social aspect as well as additional motivation. Prof. Tita, you answer Mr. Ang's question. He said that online is an excellent model for many advantages for self-study. However, it lacks social aspect as well as additional motivators to keep studying when connecting in face classes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, correct. Online, yeah. So although yes, you say that online has advantages of self-study, yeah, and but it lacks of social aspect. But actually, in the learning management system, we have the forum and whereby the student can interact each other with their friends, yeah. So it doesn't mean that they are they are they are alone, yeah. So actually they have friends which they can interact actually in the forum platform, yeah, in the learning management system. And just now I mentioned the attributes of new learning is interdependent, so it is not independent. So when it is interdependent, meaning that the student is dependent on the lecturers dependent on the students, yeah, and the students dependent on their friends. So actually the social aspect, yeah, is still there, yeah, but of course it is done virtually, yeah. But when we say virtually, it doesn't mean it is 100%. It can also be done, face to face, but most of it is done virtually. But one beauty of it to me, yeah, whereby the interactivity with their friends comes from all over the world. Because our students, majority of our students, they are international students, yeah. So which means that they can get the views from their friends, yeah, from other countries.
Can I add to that, Prof. Titi?
Yeah.
Mr. Ang has asked that online becomes very not so sociable, but Mr. Ang, don't forget that even now new norm and the new norm, we are not supposed to interact sociable. I mean, in the normal way. Therefore, we still depend on uh, the digital mode to communicate with each other. So whether this is for new norm. That's why this talk or this forum is about new norm, where we are very different from previous environment.
Prof. Xiao, can I add?
Yeah.
I would like to add to Yu Leong Ang questions. In AeU, we have assigned every program to each program coordinators. So each program coordinators, they have their own WhatsApp group. So normally they will all the announcement, communications, learning, study through the WhatsApp groups is very useful and very helpful for the students. This is from my experience. So we are motivating each other. The program coordinator, they have to motivate the students. If let's say students they feel down because of they have problems or because of the internet connections or because of the workload, between colleagues and the lecturers, this is where they come and try to motivate each other, help each other. So I think when we have all these kind of social media, all these virtual communications, it is not a bad things that you think that you cannot have a social aspects of or you feel that you don't belong to the university or campus. For me, when we have connected through this media social, it is actually a very good group things that whereby we can share each other what are the problem, and we can share notes, we can help you all, and the other students also can help the students who have problems. So I don't think using all these online interactions is not good for the students or everybody. This is my view and my experience.
There's one question raised, and I think it's for me. That is to say, how are the external examiners chosen? It's asked by whom? Well, the examiners are chosen based on basically three aspects. One is their qualifications. their experience, and also their publications. So based on these three aspects, we will first have proposed the examiners to the postgraduate study committee, and then bring it to the Senate for approval. And our examiners can come from either local or foreigners. For example, we for the PhD we have engaged external examiners, Professor Milton Smith from Vice Chancellor, Deputy VC of 13, and we have Professor Colin Brooks, the UNESCO chair for at University of Oxford, and we have Professor Barbara Andaya from University of Hawaii. We have also engaged professors from prominent universities. So we don't compromise with the standards here. And that is from Aisha, right? Okay. Okay, Ibu student. Well, the other question, I think I take up last one. Can the student finish earlier? Is it that one? If a student have past progress, can they finish a PhD before 4 years? Yes, certainly. We have already given you the timeline, 4 years, and each year you need to do certain things. So if you can finish 4 years, which means to say that you are an excellent student. So an excellent student should be finishing their timeline much earlier than us. And during your candidature, you also can show proof that you have published in well-established journals. Then you are an excellent student. So we can finish in 4 years. And after all, the external examiners will determine whether your thesis is of quality or otherwise. If your external, even you finish in 3 years and your thesis is not of a good standard, then you may not be allowed to graduate in 4 years. So the last question, yeah, I will take the last question. Where is it? Last question. How do you encourage your colleague and subordinate to take ODL? Mr. Ken, you are there.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Especially the older generation, Mr. Ken.
Older generation. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm still young. Okay. I'm still young. Okay. Okay. Anyway. Thanks for Farah. Okay. These questions. All right. So actually, how I encourage my colleagues or subordinates to take up this ODL. All right. Okay. So actually, a lot of people thinking ODL is high tech. Okay. Is if you don't have the knowledge of computer, maybe you have difficulties. So I actually it's not. Okay. Actually, it's not. I met a lot of old generation people. They are actually very aggressive, even more aggressive than me. Okay. Playing Facebook, Instagram, all this. Even now, I tell you, even my children are standard 6 or standard 6 also, they are actually doing online learning. So I think old generation is not a big deal actually in terms of this what we call high savvy tech technology, all these things. So what I actually encourage is your willingness to learn. Okay, so I think learning is not depends on the age. Even young until your old age, we still have to learn. Okay, you still have to upgrade ourselves. And I also promise my daughters. Okay, even though I'm 80s, if I'm 80s, I still have to learn. I still have to follow the trend. Okay, follow the trend. This is very important. That's why I say in terms of my colleague, if let's say it's busy, I think it's not a big problem, because why? Busy. I'm also busy. I'm doing business also busy. But if I can manage, I think you all can manage. One thing is because you have to allocate your time only. Maybe 1 or 2 hours, but 1 or 2 hours also can change your life. This is very important. Think for the future. Think what you want. Then I think you will have the motivation to go for it. Online learning, okay, is very good. It's make yourself more disciplined, make yourself more motivated and independent. Okay, independent. That's why you know what you are going to do. It's very good. You are a good organizer, actually. So you have to organize yourself. Okay, that's why this is automatically train yourself to be a leader. Okay, this is what I think. So don't worry, everything actually is easy. And if you are facing problem, I think AEU staff or the team are willing to help you also. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ken. And also thank you very much to Prof. Tite, Hawa, Puan Janiza. And with that, I would like to conclude the webinar sessions. And kindly note that this is the first of the webinar forums, and we are having more forums in the pipeline. And please stay connected with us, and also to enjoy free micro credentials and courses, and also e-certificate. Please leave your addresses and emails. With that, I would like once again to thank all the speakers and you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and also support. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again in the next forum.